So when I reached out to Sean, I had recently been back in the UK for 3 years, caring for my grandparents, which was quite a difficult time, rewarding in some ways, but challenging in a lot of ways. Running alongside that, I'd maintained something that is very important to me, which is a Tai Chi practice. And that was the thing that encouraged me to finally leave again after my granddad had passed away. So when I first spoke to Sean about this, I was still feeling very weighed down by the experience that I just had. Honestly, a lot of social anxiety, general anxiety around normal things, which wasn't common for my experience. Even the first session, we touched on where some of this was coming from and made some headway right there. So if things hadn't changed from where I was at the time when I reached out, I would be in a state of coming into feeling good when I was specifically doing the things that I really wanted to do and interested me. But then outside of those, I was feeling very empty, a lack of clarity around life and direction. Even though in some ways I was clear, there was a discrepancy between how I was feeling around these things. And if I were to stay in that constant flux, frustration of being happy but not happy, living in some of the most beautiful places in the world and still feeling anxious about very normal things, I feel like I'd have been stuck in thinking there's a lot more to life than I am experiencing. And also then not being able to really maximize my enjoyment with the things that I really was enjoying doing. Well, I guess the main thing I tried based on what I'd done before was running away from problems. So yeah, I think that was the thing that I was trying to do. I guess I was trying to find things to distract me rather than finding a way to change it, accept it, find direction, make it better. So yeah, I think for me, my coping around struggles has been to distract and avoid. I feel I've always had a practice of reading and listening to podcasts and such things. During those times, I lose the capacity to really engage with them fully and absorb the information. And I think the thing that I'd realized from the COVID time is I'd spent a lot of things had moved onto the computer and been very in your own time and not as engaging as a person spending time with me and me with them. So I've known Sean for a few years now, and I know the journey that he's been on himself to transform in many ways. And there's something in that not everybody is capable of. And I guess when you're looking for a means to transform self, it makes sense to reach out to somebody who has already transformed in different ways and not just words to make claims. I saw it for myself. Of course, spending time in Bali, you come across a lot of life coaches. Quite often, these people haven't lived enough life, I don't feel, to claim these positions. So there's always skepticism when people claim to be coaches, which is something we've gone into in our sessions as well. This people claiming knowing over a topic where maybe they don't have as much as they claim. So yes, there was skepticism around whether this is just another 4-week program that's made somebody a coach and whether that will have any impact on me. As I mentioned before, the first session really blew my mind in how deep we accessed me. And I guess that really is a testament to the work that's being done here. I have to say I felt very comfortable with the vibe. The voice helps a lot. It's really a beautiful meditation to be listening to Sean Gray's voice. So when it comes to allowing myself to be vulnerable in those sessions, sounds funny, but the vibe, not feeling like there was any judgment towards the things that I was saying or trying to say, which I think can be an obstacle when the communication isn't as eloquent as it could be. You can feel like it's quite difficult to put words to these things. So if there was any sense of being judged in that, then I think that would have caused me to close off. But it didn't feel like that. It felt supported and that I was being encouraged to explore that. The coaching was definitely varied in its approach. I would say initially it was a lot softer, which is probably what I required to create some space around those feelings that I was having. But there were certainly points where I was challenged and felt that quite directly, which is quite a strong feeling in me. Even outside of the sessions, there was times where I'd be too passive with my responses or not, maybe avoiding something, not being direct. And I was challenged on that. So a big one was Sean gave me some homework, I guess you could say, something to do outside of the sessions. And I didn't want to do it, but I wasn't saying that. I was saying many things around that, I guess voicing that I was feeling friction with it, but not being clear in my communication that I didn't want to do it or it wasn't the right time. And when I came back to Sean one time with one of these airy-fairy messages, not saying specifically what it was that I wanted to say, Sean challenged me on that. And I sat with that message for, I want to say an hour or so. And it became clear that, yes, I wasn't answering directly. I was avoiding being clear with my answer. And that was that I didn't want to do that. I felt an objection to it. And when I communicated this, that was then something we could go into. So the process, as I remember it or understand it, felt like allowing me to use the words that I had to express something, and then exploring that with a feeling or emotion inside of me, spending time with that thing and allowing that part of me to then give me the answers. It was very interesting to observe how Sean wasn't giving me answers. He was prompting me to find things inside of me. Beautiful. The things that came up, it was so clear, but also deep and amazing that the answers could come from me. The session that is most memorable was the first one because I was experiencing things, feelings in my life that I was struggling to deal with, anxiety and just doing normal things. In that session, we tuned into that. I felt it. And then we traced this feeling back and listened to it. And from that, even from that first session, there was some space created around my experience, my day to day. It's not something that I'd felt for a long time. I'd felt very trapped in maybe this is how I am now. Maybe this is what it is. So to find some space and be able to then go back to feeling more like me, that is obviously gonna stick with me and stay with me. And I guess that's also what got me hooked on the idea of doing more sessions, more space, more freedom. So practically speaking, I'm not feeling anxious anymore. Social anxiety has lifted. I feel a lot more focused in terms of the priorities in my life and what I'm focused on. I feel like I am making time for the things that I need to be making time for now with a clear mind, which is something that I was struggling to access for quite a while. I would say the thing that's been most noticeable from other people is that my calm is back. I had fallen into being reactive in some ways around family and less engaged with a lot of friends and social situations. And now I feel comfortable to be back and present. So I would say from the work that we've doing, by being more clear on what it is that I'm focusing on, I've managed to then align a lot of other areas of life with that, which, say as an example, drinking less and more clear about the healthy habits and routines in my life. In recent years, I had shifted to trying to find a way to make money that would make sense rather than would be fulfilling. I'd been distracted from the pursuit of something that does light me up and gets me excited to do it and practice it and share it. So for the last couple of months at least, I've been feeling like I needed to be more sensible in terms of how I was spending my money and the time that I was allocating to my Tai Chi practice. I guess I was trying to again align with what I thought I should be doing. But I realized and made the move to book an intensive period of Tai Chi practice again coming up and investing money to improve self is definitely worthwhile. I guess creating a catalyst for future rewards and growth and putting this money on the table is definitely worthwhile based on the rewards that come from it. Investing money to help find those things seems like a no-brainer. It's investing money in somebody to spend the time to look at me more closely, to help me run this process of creating space around my life, to be able to focus on the things that really matter. I'd say that it is expensive, but that all the best things are. You pay for access to something that is going to add value or help transformation. The cost of not doing is not getting. So the cost of not spending, investing, the price you pay is remaining stuck in where and what you are. And if you see value in changing that, then you add value to the things that will change that for you. If you're willing even to look at self and to feel what comes up and be honest, there is a lot of value to be had from this practice. It's not who shouldn't work, but I guess if you're not willing to look at yourself and you're expecting the answers to come from somewhere else, then maybe it's not going to work. Fall forwards, fall backwards, make a decision. I th- I think there's a feeling of knowing around this stuff. Like if you're on the fence, you probably know already that there's some value to be had, but you got to make a call.